Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our very first race of the season with RSF1 F2. My name's Primus Gaming, and joined with me is Bodder. Welcome along, Bodder. It's a very interesting start to Q1, so me and Bodder would like to say a big thank you to everyone in RSF1. I'll let you take it away, Bodder. Remember, we race with passion and we race with commitment. That's what makes this league just that much better to be in. So, a little bit of fun little fact about the track. So, Albert Park has 16 corners and 3 DRS zones. So, obviously, the main DRS zone after finishing on turn 16, going on to the main straight all the way down to turn 1, and then through turns 1 to 2 will lead on to another straight with another DRS zone. And then after the infamous turns 11 and 12, the high-speed chicane... Oh, has something happened?
Sorry, Primus. Yeah, just a Haas went around there before turn 1 on pit exit. That's very much like Grosjean out of Silverstone, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. That's a very bad start for the Haas team. That was RSF1 Junior.
Poor Junior is going to have to go around again now upon new front wing, I guess. Just while I'm talking there as well, my mic wasn't ticked for the box, so oopsies on that. But I just want to say a big thank you to everyone in the league, from the admin, drivers, the staff, everyone who's put in all the effort. If I didn't name all the names thanking people, we'll be here for the next 10 minutes. So I just want to say, look, across the board, thank you to everyone so much. We've 80 drivers, 4 divisions. This is going to be a fantastic season. 21 weeks, can't wait.
And it's going to be an exciting 21 weeks, 21 races given from all 4 divisions. And as Bodder said, and I've got to add on, thank you so much to everyone who has made this time possible. RSF1 is a big family of racers. You know, we want to see some real action given from all 4 divisions, and you know, it's just great to be a part of.
Fantastic. So do we have any drivers out in the lap?
We have got Jake Moore, Paita or Peter, however you pronounce him. Oh, we got a Ferrari that just span out a little bit.
Oof.
So we've got quite a few cars already on their hot lap. The only cars, we've got a handful of cars that have not pitted, but currently RSF1 Junior and DP Roberts have, Roberts is now on his hot lap, but for a moment there, both the Haas cars were the only ones to, either be on an outlap or going in.
Yeah, it's going to be treacherous conditions out there. The guys obviously know what they're up against with injuries. Thing is, I don't know if these guys have actually practiced in the rain. We think of Australia, we think, oh, glorious weather. You're not going to get rain in Australia. And lo and behold, here we are in Q1. There's some guys that might not be able to do the regular pace that they can do in the rain. So look, we'll have to see. We could be in for surprise shocks of guys going out in Q1.
It will be very, very interesting indeed to see what will happen in this session. We have to remember, guys, that you have to be ready for any scenario. The weather's on dynamic, so you never know when a track is going to be dry, wet. Don't ever discontinue tracks like Bahrain and Abu Dhabi. Just because they're deserts doesn't mean they don't get rain. They will eventually.
Yeah, they're starting to come through there now with their times.
Indeed, Peppermeat setting a 136.7.
Yeah,
which is pretty good.
Very good. DP Roberts on the Haas about to come over the line there now. He's on the second last corner coming up there now.
Indeed, so now he's going over turn 15. He is now going to try and get... No, he's going into the pits. I don't think he got a good run there.
No, I'd say he's kind of getting the feel of the track. I'd say that's what he's doing. I say he's getting the feel of the track with the inters, seeing how things are going. Like, to me, right, I don't really know because I'm not out there driving with it, but that seems to be a lot of rain. I don't know if it's inters or wets.
It's really hard to tell because normally when you're on wet conditions, you can tell easily, but this doesn't seem too right for intermediates. It just seems odd.
Yeah, the track does seem
might
wet.
Get heavier.
I'm not seeing any puddles, and that's kind of the big giveaway for the wets is when you see those puddles, and that's when you start going over them. Just riding on board here with Jake Moore. He's come up to turn 11 and 12. To be curious, turn 12 obviously took a lot of people out.
Charismatic sets
135.6.
That's incredible in the Alfa Romeo. That's good. That was good. Well done, Charismatic. And we got more cars setting their laps. Jake Moore and Magic Marks are still yet to set their competitive lap times.
Magic Mark is a fast guy. I'd expect him to go up there at least top 5.
And now Jake Moore goes round turn 16. He is now on the pitch straight. What time will Jake Moore set? He now crosses the line and sets a 1:36.4. Not a bad little lap there from the Red Bull. He's in 3rd place. So he's got Benji Enzo.
Magic Mark's come up here the last turn, second last turn, sorry. He's in the Force India Racing Point, whatever you want to say.
Oh, the back end kicked out a little bit there.
Yeah. He's still going for it though.
And he crosses the line to set a 1:36.2. So I had a feeling Jake and Magic probably made a tiny mistake somewhere during the lap, and I have a feeling they're both not going to have it. They want to give it another go.
Yeah, you're talking just over a second now between 1st and 6th. I know we still have like just over 10 minutes to go in Q1, but still kind of setting a good pace. It's looking good so far.
A fellow teammate for Magic Marks is RSF1 Shane in the Racing Point. I was about to call it a Force India there. I'm just so used to calling it a Force India.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I call it.
It's the norm. It's the same with Alfa Romeo. I have habits, sometimes I call it Sauber.
Yeah, same thing, because I recognise it as Sauber. I know Alfa Romeo is obviously, but like when they were took over by Alfa, it's only a name change really, if you look into it on the news and stuff, but that's basically what it is. It's just a name change. It's still the same fundamentals behind it.
Oh, good lap from Peppermeat in the McLaren. So it's a 1:35.4. 2/10 faster than Charismatic.
Go on, Irish. The Irish are coming by.
So, a good question for you, Bodder. As a preemptive little prediction for the season coming up for Division 2, who would you say is a potential contender for the championship?
Do you know what? This is what I like about round 1, because everyone starts on 0. We don't know. Everyone starts on a big fat 0. Anything could happen. There could be guys during the socials, they might not be giving their 100%, or there could be guys that just discovered something in the last few days in their setups possibly, or the way they position the car, the racing line, anything like that. We could be seeing guys here getting a top 10, top 5 that we wouldn't usually be expecting. But to go back to your original question, who are we expecting up there? Look, there's lots of names I could throw out there. Sen I'd be expecting up there. Roberts is a very, very fast guy in that Haas. Very, very fast. Skunk Burner is obviously fast as well. Shane, Magic Mark, fantastic driver. Junior, and of course I gotta give a shout out to Charismatic. Joshua Dosh, 35.3.
That was a good lap set by the Ferrari driver. That was really good. And to agree with you on that point, I have a feeling both the Hasses will be showing some real power. Junior and Roberts are really, really good drivers, but people to really look out for, I have to say, definitely Senna is going to be someone to keep an eye out. But Benji Enzo, he is definitely not someone to sleep on. Benji Junior just proved my point with a 1:35.1. A good
There's
lap
Junior's
from there.
pace. Yes.
And Roberts is now coming around the second to last corner. He looks like he just had a bad run and he's going into the pits again. I don't think Roberts is having a good session.
Could be a setup. Like as I said before, like it's Australia. We're expecting sun. We're not expecting inters. I'd say it's a setup. I say he's changing stuff in the setup. It's not working. He has to come back into the pits again. Look, there's just over 7.5 minutes left in Q1. That's lots of time. Go out, do your lap. He's a fast driver. He doesn't need to push it too hard. He doesn't need to put the car on the wall. He just needs to go out, set a lap for himself. That's it.
Very, very good little save there from Angerfist. He went through turns 11 and 12, the high-speed chicane, and he had a little bit of a wobble coming out of the chicane, but he just managed to save it and keep the car on the track, and it looks like he's putting on a decent lap. He's now going to come around the second to last corner, and before we go on to his lap, Josh with Dosh has set a 134.7, so a good lap from Josh. So it looks like Junior and Josh are not letting up. So Anger now crosses the line to set a 136.3. So a decent lap from Angerfist.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. There's another thing I'm noticing here, Primus. The rain seems to have subsided a small bit. I don't know if you can see that. The track might be drying a small bit.
Indeed, we might be able to. It's a very big chance. Oh, RSF1 Patronus, 134.7. So he's 0.04 of a second faster than Josh.
Yeah, very close, very close, very close.
Very
close.
So,
you see Roberts is back out on us straight away as well. He's straight out.
Yeah,
He got pulled into the pits, got a new set of tyres, quick change and set up back out again, so he is.
Roberts has immediately responded to what's happened. For some reason, there you go. For some reason, I put my camera onto Roberts and it was looking at one of the Mercedes in the pits.
Those Mercedes guys.
That Haas is literally a rocket, I thought it was coming out any moment, but it turns out he shot out that fast.
I was actually chatting with Roberts earlier on today. He was telling me he's really happy with the car. It says it's a nice balanced setup. He's really looking forward to it. He reckons he'll be up there. Now, that is avoiding instance into turn 1 and lap 1 and all that, but I'd say he'd be looking for a podium, this guy, at the end of the race, all going well.
Indeed, I remember my first ever race with Roberts, and I'll tell you what, that the guy was uncatchable. I think it was between him and Patronus when I first ever raced them, and
two fast guys.
His car is literally just gone.
It's on rails. Will we do a ride around with Roberts as he's about to set his lap?
Indeed.
He just finished his out lap. Hope he's going to set a lap here.
So Roberts is now going around turn 16, so we'll stay on board with Roberts here. So he's now going to cross the line to begin his lap. So let's see how he does. So Roberts is going to get a nice little run into turns 1 through 2. He cut the curb a little bit, but he didn't ride on it too much, so he didn't lose speed. Into the he's in the DRS zone, but obviously it's off because of the weather conditions. So he is now going to put that in nicely there into turns 3, I think. I've already lost track of the track. It's hard to keep track of some things when you're really into the laps, but as a good cut
really,
there, he's now going through the first sector zone of a 30.8, so that was a decent first sector time. And here we go, we're going into the fast right-hander, so we're now getting to, I say it's a hairpin here, a slight hairpin. So that's
a 90-degree angle, I'd say. 9 and 10, yeah.
Yeah, 9 and 10. So through turns 9 and through 10 there is now approaching the fast chicane of turns 11 and 12. We've got a Ferrari there sort of moving slow, which he's gaining on a little bit.
Nice.
That was a good little move there from the Ferrari. Didn't want to disrupt Roberts' lap. And now Roberts goes through turns 13. That's a good run there through turns 13. So now this is really important one through turn 14. Good speed. You've got to maintain the acceleration, but hold off a little bit. Now through turns 15, can he cut that a little bit?
Yeah.
Nice. And now here we are. So he's going to get a good run into turn 16 onto the pit straight. So now Roberts will now cross the line
or pole,
to set a 133.7. So Peppermeat just briefly took the fastest lap, but then Roberts just said, "Nope, I will be taking that off of you."
Yoink! Just like that, he takes it.
And the only car to currently not set a lap is WR Chosen. in the Alfa Romeo.
That's another fast driver. Again, he could be fiddling with his setup, waiting for the last moment. Is the rain starting to come back a small bit?
It looks like rain is starting to come back. I don't know what's going to happen with Q2 and Q3, but I definitely know Q1 is not going to dry up. I think the Inters are here to the end.
Yeah, well, I haven't been messaged yet about the weather, so if anyone wants to message me with the weather, that would be awesome.
So it looks like now we'll have a little look with... Oh, wait, no, that's fine. They're both in an in-lap by the looks of it, because a little moment there between Roberts and Peppermeat.
Oh.
I didn't know if they were going in, because I saw someone slow up, and but I think they're both just going in, one's letting the other go by.
So, with just over 2 minutes left, so really you're going to get time for one more lap. Skunkburner's in the pits, Charismic's on the lap. Jake Moore's on outlap. Hope he can get around time. Yeah, he will get around time. John Jigweed. I'm not even going to pronounce that. John, I can call you John.
Well, yeah, we'll call him John.
He's out on
it's
the
nice
lap.
and easy.
Chosen's out on the lap. So which one is going to finish first here?
Very, very good save there from RSF1 Senna. He almost crashed into the same corner I did back in my social race. And... he also suddenly came out of nowhere and put himself into 4th place in the qualifying session.
Okay, so I just got a message there from Rolex saying that Q3 is going to dry up. Alright.
It looks like WR Chosen is on his lap, so let's keep an eye on him for a moment. So we've also lost PMT for a moment. I think he's happy with his time, so going through turns 14, getting a decent run there. He caught the curb a little bit, but that's fine. Through turns 15, he just cuts it slightly there. That's nice. So now let's see if he can get a good run into the final corner, onto the pit straight. Went a little bit wide coming out of it, but that's still fine. And he comes across to set a 1 minute 34.8. So he's not in the danger zone. He's no longer going to be fearing being knocked out of qualifying 1, but right now the car at risk at the moment is RSF1 Shane. He's about to cross the line there. To the point.
What's Shane going to pull out? Shane's on his outlap. Perfect. So that's perfect. So Shane has time to go around. Magic Mark is about to come over the line. He's on the lap at the minute.
Has responded. He has responded to his teammate putting the fastest lap in of a 1:33.7.
That's a bit like kicking a tease, isn't it?
I think we might be looking at a Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton situation here. A good battle between teammates.
Yeah, no, definitely. Let's see who else here.
So Shane is now through the first sector zone, setting a good personal best there. And it is the end of qualifying 1. Right, and Roberts did respond to Junior at 1:33.6.
Wow.
6 thousandths of a second faster than his teammate.
Right, so Button is unfortunately out of Q1.
So we have lost RSF1 Button and Williams.
And Stretch goes... Oh, Stretch is also out.
Chosen is in the danger zone now. In 15th place, Shane,
Jake
Skunk
Moore.
and Jake still need to set their laps. So
Jake Moore,
I feel very worried. All Chosen's responded and he's put himself up to P10. That was a good move there by the Alfa Romeo.
That pushes Angerfist down to 15th. Danger spot. Josh with Dosh now. I know he's out on a lap, but he's also in danger on P16 at the minute.
And Shane crosses the line to 6th place in a 1:34.3. Well done, Shane. That was a good lap.
Yeah, that's a great response to Junior as well.
Jake Moore has finished his lap, but is in danger from Josh with Dosh and Skunkburner. Josh is now going through turns 14, going into turns 15 with the Williams there. So let's see what they can respond with.
That's Williams in the Skunkburner. Sorry, that's Skunkburner in the Williams, I should say.
Williams in the Skunkburner. And
13th,
Skunkburner just pushes himself out into 13th, and Josh did not improve.
That drops Jake Moore to the drop zone.
That is a real shame for Jake Moore. He did really good in the Red Bull. He responded to the end of Q1, but I'm afraid he didn't make it in time to do another lap. But very good job by Skunk Burner, who looked like he was actually going to be in last place, but then he moved himself up. So our cars that are out of qualifying one is Jake Moore in the Red Bull with Angerfist following behind. A real shame for Angerfist, he was doing really good. Josh with Dosh, RSF1 Button and WOR Stretch. So a real shame for them to be knocked out of Q1, but you know, anything can happen in the race.
That's it. Could be a safety car. Don't really want it. I want everyone to race, but I don't want to see a safety car.
Albert Park I know in real F1 it has a decent percentage in getting a safety car. So as long as the safety car is in a keyboard, whoa! The AI freaked out a little bit, so I was on board with Josh's AI after we're waiting for the lobby to end, and he crashed into all the slow-moving AI cars.
That's what they do. Still haven't fixed it from last year, so they haven't. Okay.
Well, DP Roberts being the fastest in the session with a 1:33.6, with RSF1 Junior in second place with a 1:33.7, and Magic Marks in third in the racing point with a 1:33.8. But unfortunately, the cars we did lose was Jake in the Red Bull, Angerfist in the Toro Rosso, Josh Dosh in the Ferrari, Button in the Williams, and Stretch in the Renault. So it's a real shame, but they could open up in the race. But let's move on to Q2.
Exactly. Do you know what I just noticed there, Primus? The top 4 drivers were separated by 0.2.
That's incredible. So we could see some serious times get put in for Q3. And it looks like it's dried up a little bit for qualifying too.
Would the track be damp, I wonder?
It's a possible. I can't see any standing water in the pit lane. I have a feeling that the drivers might be able to. I'm getting a little bit of a peek into John's paddock, and he's still got the intermediates on from what I can see.
You can see that, can you?
I can slightly see, I can see the green wheel from the Pirelli tyre.
I'm like 2 inches away from it. Oh wait, there it is, I can see it now. I had to get like 2 inches of the screen though. Jesus.
It's like, I play a lot of Assassin's Creed. I've got Eagle Vision.
Eagle Vision. I hope you don't have that bleeding effect of that.
Oh no, I'll be in work and I'll pass out and I'm suddenly in the Middle Ages.
Alright, so it's look at the tyre strategy we got going on here. We got Peter in the mediums, Chosen on hards, Junior's out in the wets. Well, he's not out yet, I suppose. He's in the pits. But Benji is the first one out on the inters.
Indeed, I'm still seeing a spray from the tyres. I have a feeling, I don't know if Benji's made the correct move. There is still standing water. We're seeing a spray, so the intermediates might be okay for now, but I definitely know for sure he could have held off for a few minutes, and then he would have been guaranteed to probably be able to set a safe lap on the slick tyres.
Yeah, I was just riding on board there with Magic Mark. His back end looks a bit loose there. I reckon he'll have to come back in and put on dry slicks. Look at that. He's after going straight off there on turn 9, nearly.
I think Benji and Mark might have actually bitten the bullet with the idea of maybe setting an intermediate tyre lap, because it just seems a bit risky at this very current moment.
Yeah, well, if you look at the tyre stuff there at the minute, like okay, Robert set up softs, and okay, now he's back to softs again. Okay, so more and more guys are up, and more and more guys we could say have stuck the slicks on in the pits.
It does. I can see Patronus.
Look, Magic Mark's fun into the pits. He's not happy with the inters. He wants to swap out the slicks straight away. That was
Benji
the test
as well.
Yeah, that was a test. So it was. They wanted to make sure that they because look, if you can win to Q2 and set a lap on your inters and go through to Q3 with it, fantastic. You've saved yourself a set of slicks. But at the end of the day, it's only top 10 fastest laps go through, so that's what they need.
So the cars that are currently out on track at the moment is RSF1 Senna, John Digweed and iCharismics. So it looks like I think John might have forgotten that unless he's going for an aggressive strategy, these are his starting tyres.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be fair enough for the Mercedes driver to put in an aggressive start to the race, because I definitely did want to do that back in my social race back in Australia. Oh, the back end kicking out a little bit. I don't think he's happy either.
No. I just have to notice there in the chat, Morocco's after putting in DRS enabled. That's the call for slicks. So we should see
Indeed.
all the drivers on the slicks now fairly soon. I think
Paita or Pete. I'm just going to call him Peter.
Peter
is...
like, P. I'm just going to call him Peter. I'm just going to call him Peter. That's it.
Yeah, it's 'cause I don't know if the
Peter,
I is
Peter,
meant to
Peter.
be... The one's meant to be an I and the 8 is meant to be like a T. I don't know. It's very hard to tell with his name.
It's like when people join my party and they go, Buddha, and I was like, my gamer tag isn't actually Buddha. They just think it is, you know. They just I have to look at it again for a second, and it's Boda. It's like, right, okay. It's probably the same thing with him. He joins parties and people are like, is it Paita or Peter? And that's what we're here discussing that now.
Some people call me Primus. I'm just like, well, great, you're calling me a colour. It sounds like a very, very bad colour. It's like, this is a very good shade of Primus. I'm just like, it's Primus. People always called me Primus when I had my old gamer tag, so to make it easier, I called myself Primus Gaming, and some people still call me Primus. I'm like, no!
I'm going to call you that now.
It's not right! Oh, no.
my mess. He's riding the board here with Charismic.
Later went round the last corner, back end kicked out, which didn't really help his medium tyres, so he's on his hot lap now, but, you know, when the back end kicks out in the last corner like that, that will not help your run.
No. Charismic just after entering the last sector there, so we'll see how he goes. I think he lifted a bit on turn 12, but to be honest, with the fresh hards, he probably would have to lift all right with that.
Charismics is going for a long-running strategy, so he's now going around the second to last corner. He didn't get to cut the corner as much as we'd hope he would, but he got a good run into turn 16. So
did you see that? The car didn't turn for him.
It almost didn't. No, he suffered from
he didn't get enough rotation on the car. Yeah, it really understeered for him. Yeah, 30.9.
But 130.9. So it's obviously the start of the times. Oh! Charismics! He is struggling for grip. Obviously, he's on the hardest compound, so he's not going to get the grip that he wants, but he saved it tremendously, and Senna responded with 130.0.
9/10
so
exactly.
He did really good. 9/10, well, almost 9/10 exactly.
Almost 9/10, yeah.
A good move by Senna. We know that won't last, though, because we've got some people running on softer tyres. Patronus. Patronus is still on Inters.
He's sitting on the pit on Inters.
Let's hope he's... Oh, yep, a 128.4 by Paita. He did manage to recover, but I know the lap times will get faster. They will get faster indeed.
Okay, Junior's about... Oh, Junior, did you cut that? Yeah, I think Junior might cut that.
Now finishing up in the final DRS zone of the track, going through turns 13, and now he's going to try and get a good run into turns 14. Can he get a good one there? Yep, that's all right. He clipped the curb. Now going into turns 15, he just manages to get a good exit. I think he probably could have gotten it just a little bit better there, but that's okay. Good run into turn 16 on the final corner, and he responds while everyone else setting times by setting a 130.9, literally a thousandth of a second from setting a 131 dead.
I think it was a bad lap from it. I don't think it went well from him, to be honest. But he's back at it again, so he is. Let's see who's about to cross the line now.
Looks like Joker is about to set a lap. He got a good run out of turn 12. And we've got a slow-moving Mercedes. Hopefully it won't disrupt his lap. No, it won't. That was a very good move by the Mercedes driver to let him pass.
26.5. Riz.
Oh, Ferrari has responded to the Mercedes setting the fastest lap, so we could be seeing almost like a real 2019 situation. But can Joker deny these guys of their fastest lap? So he is on the final Well, he's on the pitch straight, and he
Yeah.
sets a 124.5.
We're
Well
getting
done,
faster and
Joker in the
faster.
Toro Rosso.
This is brilliant. And I'm really liking this because the tyre strategies are out. Like some guys are going for softs. I know most of the guys are going for mediums. A couple of guys there that have gone for the hards as well. I wonder we're going to see more guys with softs at the end of the session, seeing if they can kind of get through into the last top 10 shootout.
Indeed. I'm surprised to see that DP Roberts has not actually come out the pits yet. He's still on the medium tyres, but I think Roberts is just not feeling comfortable with doing his lap yet, and it looks like Junior is on his another lap. He's about to respond on the hard tyres. Junior responds with a 126.2. He was not happy at all with his original lap. He responds with that time. That was good. It was faster than Paita on the softs.
Yeah. No, it's just when I was speaking to Roberts earlier on, he was saying that Australia is one of his worst tracks. He really doesn't like Australia, he says, but the balance is great for Karen. He's looking forward to having his having a good season with his teammate because there's two fast drivers in that Haas. DP Roberts is obviously up there straight away, but I know Junior said he was lacking a little bit of pace, but look, he's in a lot of practice pre-season, so hopefully his pace will improve during the first season. So I reckon the Haas guys hope he wants to look out for.
There's one thing that matters the most in a team, and that's chemistry between drivers, because obviously you need to have an understanding of the other drivers, and say if you're in the race and your strategy is not working out. So for example, say if I wasn't doing so good in my league and I was having a bad race, and my teammate in F4 is Alco Saints, and Alco Saints is definitely faster than me, and I don't want to hold him up, and we want to score some good points for the team. I've got to make the judgment, do I let my teammate go by? Do I think I can try and hold on and maybe try and get a good position with him behind me? It's all about trust, like how you feel you want to benefit the team or do you want to benefit yourself. It's all about showman or sportsmanship, just like the game's introduced.
Exactly, it's the same thing when you're doing your practice races with your teammates or your friends or whoever you're playing with, and you're like, oh, have you tried this setup? Have you tried lowering your rear wing? Have you tried increasing your front wing? All these setups. That's the great thing about having a teammate. Just to go through that stuff with you. And as I said, it's great when you have a teammate that's kind of faster than you. You can lean them a small bit and go, right, how do you take this corner? What way do you do that? All these different, what way do you do your strategy? All these questions. And it's the only thing, it makes everyone faster at the end of the day, which is great.
Especially if they're going to be rivals. So if Junior and Roberts do really good this race, we could potentially see Haas being the team battling for the top, but we cannot deny people like Joker, Senna and Benji. Roberts has responded with the medium tyres setting a 123.4. Well done there, Roberts. That was very good.
It's a very good lap, very good lap. Magic Mark there is on the mediums. He's coming into sector 3 there, in turn 12. Good X on 12 through the DRS. He's in full overtake mode.
He now gets a good run into turns 13, so let's see how he can get a decent there. Yep, goes down to 4th gear. You could probably take that in 5th. I feel I get more speed out of that in 5th gear. Just let go of the braking. Goes into turn 15, didn't get too much cut in the corner. A decent run into turn 16, so let's see what Magic Mark sets. So let's see, he crosses the line. 122.5.
Oh, Magic Mark. Magic Mark.
Incredible. The Racing Point, I almost said Force India. Racing Point has...
it's a Force India. We can call it a Force India. We're not going to get done for copyrights. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, Force India's gone.
Who's Force India? I just seen there on the chat.
Exactly.
Timmy's at home watching the race with his 3 sons, and they're shouting on for Peppermeat because he's Irish. Oh, and they also put in come on Crunswick as well.
Timmer?
Timmy.
Shout out to Timmer and his sons. I hope you all enjoy the race.
Is Peppermeat? Yeah, Peppermeat's in the pits, but I noticed in Q1, if you look at Peppermeat's helmet next time he's going around, it's green, white, and gold, the Irish flag. So Peppermeat is representing his country tonight with his helmet.
Is there a personal favourite for you today, Botter?
I'm going to be impartial. But there's a few guys obviously do well. Obviously,
there's nothing wrong with supporting your fellow countrymen.
No,
hoping that they do well.
There's not. Like, I hope Peppermeat does well. I also, like, half the guys in this grid are, I consider my friends. So, like, I can't really say one name, because as soon as we finish up the race, I'll be pulled into a party going, "You never mentioned my name." So.
That's normally how some things go. We are on board with RSF1 Patronus, going around the second to last corner. Let's see if the McLaren can respond to Magic Marks. Decent run into turn 6.
There's
16, sorry, but there. And he has set a 1:23.4, so a good lap from Patronus.
Decent lap from Patronus.
I have a feeling he's just not done yet. He wants to get another one.
Yeah, he's going again. He's backing down to ERS. It's on 2 now at the minute.
EP Roberts has retired from the session. I think he is happy with the position that he's in. I think he's really going to show his pace into Q3, but we've only got 1 minute and 10 seconds left of qualifying 2. Currently, right now, the cars that are in danger of being knocked out is... Paita has lost it incredibly going out on... Well, he's on his out lap, but oh my God, he literally just lost it through turn 1 and cut through the field back onto turn 2. That was... very horrible for Paita's tyres.
He's not going to make it. He's not going to make it back for a lap. That's no. So who's in danger at the minute? Junior's in danger.
So the danger zone.
Peppermeat's
in danger.
John Peppermeat is in danger. Yeah, he's on out lap. Where is he? He's in sector 3.
Timmer's Sons will not be happy if Peppermeat gets knocked out in Q2. But let's keep the hope.
Line. DRS open. He's in full ERS. Hope it's a good lap from.
No. 1:33.2. That was the pace on the wet tyres.
Yeah, something must have happened in that lap. He's 10 seconds off the. He's on full ERS now, so we'll come back to him. Who else?
I noticed he turned it straight back up when he went back onto his lap. So it's not very good, but
no. But again, that's another thing about the game: managing your ERS. The battery can only store so much. You can only burn so much. So, if you're on a lap and you cut a corner, you're... Jeez, Junior! And you're lost on turn 12.
That's not good. One of the Haas cars that was putting in an amazing lap. He goes through turn 14. Turn 14 there. He's now going to turn 15. Can he get a good run through? Yes, he can, but he's just... I don't think he's happy. Junior... As a sad moment for the Haas driver is out of qualifying 2 when he was fighting his teammate, and it looks like it's not over yet. The car in danger is Briz in the Ferrari, so we are on board with Peppermeat. Goes and gets a good run through turn 12 into the DRS zone. Can he get a good move into turn 13? He just cuts it quite nicely, catches the little curb on the outside. Senna has retired from the session. Good move there through turns 14 into turns 15. Can he cut it very nicely? Yes, he can. Keeps it there. Back end wiggles just a little bit. Gets a decent run into the final corner. And Peppermeat crosses the line to set a 1:21.9. Peppermeat is through to qualifying 3.
I was going to say that he's on softs, of course, and the track is drying now, so he has to go through. I wonder, was that like a last minute thing in the garage when he's going, right, and go back out in mediums and possibly not get through to the top 10, or do I stick on the softs and guarantee myself in the top 10? But then, what's the strategic call going to be in the race? So it's
a real shame.
I don't know if you're watching.
Real shame for his teammate.
I don't know if you're watching the F3 social that was, I think, on during the week. I did a 2-stop and Ronix did a 1-stop, and Ronix finished.
I remember I was commentating.
Yeah, it's fantastic to watch.
That was a good race, but we'll go over the board for qualifying 2. So unfortunately, John Digweed in the Mercedes got knocked out in Q2, followed by DP Roberts in the Haas, with RSF1 Patronus behind him in the McLaren, with RSF1 Junior joining his fellow teammate out in Q2, with Paita out as well. So both Mercedes and both Haas out of Q2. So top 3 is Peppermeat, Briz and Magic Marks. So this is going to be crucial. It looks like Peppermeat might get the ideal start if he can keep it following through into qualifying 3.
Those Hasses I was not expecting going Q2. Was not expecting that at all. But I know, in speaking to Robert earlier on, he was saying that It's just Australia isn't his track. It just isn't his track. So look, hopefully he can make up a few spots during the race.
I have to give both Roberts and Junior credit where it's due. They drove well in the wet, but it looks like because the conditions were drying out, they were still partially wet when it started, but because the conditions were just a little bit funny going into qualifying 2, it looks like, oh no, sorry, that was a little bit of smoke from spins there from the wheels. But yes, unfortunately, you don't get the most amazing qualifying sessions. You have an amazing Q1, but you could have a bad Q2. So we cannot rule any driver out, because we thought Haas was going to dominate this weekend, and then Peppermeat just completely just took everyone by surprise and just said, oh no you don't, I'm still here.
Again, yoink, that's mine. I'll take that.
He is putting that straight into his basket. That's a very good little move there from Peppermeat and McLaren, but unfortunately he is without his teammate. So both Force Indias, I'm surprised to see how well they managed to do, because you have social races, you thought you understand the pace of drivers, but as you said, some people just open up when it comes to league racing, and Shane and Senna doing really good to surprise me up here.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's a brand new game, so the strategy, or not strategy, the setups you used from the 2018 game are completely out the window. You have to go again. The ballast was took out of the game, so you're essentially back to square one. So the setups that you could have been running, say, last week or the week before, they can be completely different than the setups you're running today, and that's how we could be seeing such a difference in pace from guys from the previous social races.
So here we go, the first car that's going to cross the line. Everyone is out on track, no one is resting in the pits. We've got yellow flags in the third sector. I have a feeling it's the infamous turn 12. Skunk Burner being the first across the line, followed by Shane onto their laps. I think everyone's still struggling on that corner. I definitely knew turn 12 is, not just for F2, but of all of the divisions, turns 12 is going to be the treacherous corner to watch out for.
Yeah, I reckon the yellow flags were just caused by guys just backing up and doing their settings, because I know on my outlap I set everything down to lean and 0 just to get the most out of the car, and then just on coming up to the last corner I boot everything up to the absolute max to get the best out of it. So I'm guessing that's what the guys are doing, they're slowing down to put all their settings back up. It's just like a real F1 car, you're playing with the settings on the dash, on the wheel.
Indeed, and everyone is doing their best to show everyone what they are made of. So everyone is on a hot lap. We are on board with Benji Enzo, who is now approaching the 90-degree angle corner, we can name it. We'll call it 90 degrees, that little hairpin. Makes it easy to remember.
Which turn is that?
It's turns 9 through 10. So
the
almost hairpinish sort of corner with the slight corner coming out. We'll call it 90 degrees.
Yeah, it's a tough one for me as well, because even when I'm braking, I'm like, where's my turning point? If you turn in too early, you might cut the turn. And Skunk Burn 21.7.
Skunk Burner! Oh, 121
Joker.
is the mark here. We are going to see some aggressive laps from everyone. Benji Enzo now goes onto the main straight, while Charismic takes fastest lap of the session with a 121.2. Charismic responds, Benji Enzo replies with a 121.7. Peppermeat now crosses the line with a 121.9, and we have lost a Ferrari.
What?
It's PMT Briz. A very big shame for PMT. Yeah, he span out going through turns. Oh, look at that. That is bad. I think he's suffering from some wing damage, but I think through that crash, getting a bit of grass on your tyres, and now the tyres are extra worn from that. Not a good start for the qualifying session for PMT Briz. That's a real shame.
No, not good at all. Last thing you want to do is get the grass on your tyres, because essentially it ruins your tyres for that qualifying lap. You have to go in, get another set of tyres, and go back out and do your out lap again, then do your hot lap. It's just more time being taken off the clock that you don't need. Like when he goes in and pits, he could be looking about 3-4 minutes possibly left. So you have to buckle in for that one.
We are now on board with one of the few cars that has not set a lap. It is WOR Chosen in the Alfa Romeo, and he gets I think he got a decent run there through turns 11 through 12. That was very good speed he displayed onto the DRS. No, he's actually turned his ERS deployment down. I think he might have accidentally cut the corner and invalidated the lap time.
Yeah, the ERS is on 0, so that's, yeah, he just charged his battery. He's going to go again now, I'd say, at the end of this lap. Who's on lap there? Yeah, Senna is also charging. Yeah, Senna is also charging. Senna is also going to the pits as well. See, the problem is
because
you know,
6 minutes are left.
You need every little bit of performance out of the car, and when you go and do your out lap and then you begin your hot lap, if you invalidate it, you essentially have two laps on those set of tires. So it could be worse to come back in, west the pits, get a new fresh set of tires, rethink your setup, what you need doing, and go back out again and do it again.
So everyone has gone back into the pits except for PMT Briz, who is now going to make his way out. It showed him he was in the pits and then he came out. So I was waiting for his car to pull out, and he's already going through Sector 1.
Yeah, he's out in his out lap. Fresh tires, like I said. He's charged in ERS. Number 41 on the Ferrari looks nice. I'd say that Ferrari this season actually looks well.
Yeah, it looks like he's struggling maybe. I think it's just his setup. And RSF1 Shane has gone back out as well. I think they've all put on some new tyres actually. Yeah.
They'll probably go for the second last stint, or possibly the last stint, depending on how many tyres they've left. It's Charismatic that was holding on well, about 21.2.
Charismatic has done amazingly, responding with a 121.2 to everyone, but I know for sure some cars will make a move now, but coming to the last few minutes, we'll see the rest of the people come out and try and, give their all in their lap. Because this is the final qualifying session of the very first RSF1 race of the season. So F2 really want to deliver a good show to everyone tuning in at home.
Yeah, no, as you said, it's new league, first race, first season. That's what we're here for. We're here for the entertainment. These guys are all great racers, great clean drivers, so it's good to have them, and can't wait for the battles as they're going to unfold over the course of the season. The one thing I will say though, for this race, we've a number of drivers that are knocked out already, so there's an increasing competition there, so I can't wait for the start of the race and see if those guys can look through the ranks.
Indeed, I am very excited to see how this session turns out, because we do not know, because we all thought those Haas cars were going to completely demolish the grid, but then they both got knocked out in Q2, and then suddenly an Alfa Romeo is just like, nope, I am sitting up here nice and comfy.
Yeah. That's Charismac's Alfa Romeo. He's just taking it easy. He's watching everything now. I bet you he's inside in the pits, and he's just looking at the monitor, and he's going and watching all the guys going around, studying them, what type of lines they take and how they take their corners. He'll probably go for one last run, I'd say, because I'd say he would have the tyres for him.
PMT Briz now puts on the DRS onto the main straight, and he comes across the line to set a 122.2. That's a decent lap. That's a very, very good lap, but it's just not fast enough to catch up to those 121s set by everyone else. And now, it's very, very interesting, because Briz had a very poor start to the session. Is he going to choose to preserve his tyres, or is he going to go for another run?
Well, here's Shane now coming around on the second last corner. He's the ERS flat out. Let's see, can you get it?
DRS has been active. He is now going to cross the line and set a 121.2. He almost caught Charismac's time, but Benji ends though with a 121.1.
I wonder what we see do 21 flats. That's the next thing we'll be looking at
Benji.
now. Where does that Renault come from, huh?
Exactly. The yellow rocket has come out of nowhere, and he has just surprised everyone. He's just like, I'm here, and then just shot off.
There's Chose now about to cross the line. He's on the second last turn here, the last turn now. Great exit on the last turn up the straight. ERS and overtake. Trying to punch in his lap. No, must have invalidated. He must have invalidated his lap.
unfortunate for Chosen. He's still got time to set another one though. He's not completely out of this yet.
Just noticed there as well.
RSF1 Senna.
Charismic's after pulling out the pits. Charismic now is going on his outlap.
Oh, so the original pole sitter has not sat there comfortably after seeing Benji taking provisional pole in qualifying 3.
Benji nearly went for a spin there. Oh, sorry to interrupt. Oof.
That's alright. Oh, Benji.
Easy punch the pits.
I think it's the nerves of, you know, the first race. I imagine all drivers will be very nervous about this. Oh, Shane going a little bit slow there into the pits.
Yeah. Okay, what are we looking at now?
Peppermeat is now going around the second to last corner, and no, Peppermeat is handing it in. I think Peppermeat might be done for the session.
Yeah, he kind of, I say, knows where his pace is at. Go retiring as well.
WR Chosen is going for another run. He's on the main straight. He's got the DRS active. He is going to cross the line to set a 122.1. A deep up again compared to the other cars. It's just not enough to catch them.
Yeah, he'll get time for one more, but his ERS is on 0, so I say he's taking it at that as it is. PMT Briz now on the last corner. Up on the start straight. Yeah, ERS no overtake. Ooh, no.
Oh, 122.2. That's his original lap, and he set a 122.3, so he was just a 10th down on his time. I think that is the end of PMT Briz's lap, so I'm guessing he's now going to take the car back to the pits. Oh, no, he's retired from the session on track. I'm pretty sure we are meant to bring the cars home in the pits, but it looks like he's pulled over in the into the runoff area, so he's out of the way of any fast lapping cars. We will have a little look into that, because if you retire during a session, your AI can actually cause interference and get in the way of other cars. So let's we'll have a little look into that. But Charismix is now going across turns 14, approaching turns 15. Can he get a good run into turns 15? He cuts the corner slightly, touches the grass, but that's fine. He gets a good run into turn 16. Now he's straight. DRS is active. He is now about to cross the line to set a 121.3. He did not get provisional pole. He just missed out. So the only cars that can really put on... Oh, no, Chosen is definitely going on his in. He is not going on anymore. Magic Marks is now approaching the second to last corner of turn 15. He's doing pretty good. Now he can take this last corner, get a good run in, activate the DRS. He is now approaching the line. Can he take provisional pole? Magic Marks, he cannot with a 121.3. He improved on his time, but it's just not enough.
It's not enough for him.
And that is it for the session. So our pole sitter for the race today is Benji Enzo in first, with iCharismix in second place, Shane in third, Magic Marks fourth, Joker fifth, Senna sixth, Skunk seventh, Peppermeat eighth, Chosen ninth, and Briz 10th. It's a very good lineup.
Very, very good lineup as well. I just noticed there as well, I think Senna needs an invite back into the game. Unfortunately, I don't have that option to invite him, so I'm hoping maybe an engineer might be listening to the stream, might be able to direct a driver to send an invite and hopefully get him back into the game.
It'd be a real shame to see RSF1 Senna not be able to start this race after showing such promise in the qualifying session. So that is our top 10 for the race. And I don't know about you guys, but I am extremely excited to see how the first ever race of the season starts off. So once all the drivers are ready, we can get this show on the road. But Bodder, what's your thoughts on this session so far?
Well, I wasn't expecting Benji to get a pole. It's great to see it. Don't get me wrong, it's great to see we've a German on pole. It's fantastic. Starting on the outside, Charismic then starting on the inside in his Alpha. There's very little between them, very little between them. But the thing is, will Charismic be able to get a good launch that can battle him or possibly take the lead going into one?
Indeed, it's all about tyre temperatures as well and how the race is going to look. Because remember, guys, a race could start off dry, then go wet, or maybe even the opposite way round, or stay as one condition throughout the entire thing. But this is going to be exciting because we know Albert Park in a real life F1 and in league racing all around. Albert Park has shown some real shocking moments, such as I remember back when in 2014 when the V6 turbo hybrid came into play, we saw a load of accidents and car failures in Albert Park, and also who can forget the famous crash of Ralf Schumacher in I think it was back in 2000. I know he crashed into the back of a Ferrari. I think it was Rubens Barrichello.
Oh, great. Senna got back in. I was going to say that. Perfect. Sorry.
It's good that you...
Brian's
Yeah, that's
prison.
fine. You was hoping Senna to get back in. But I was just going over a little bit of old Albert Park nostalgia of F1.
Yeah, well, I found out the other night that apparently Damon Hill won the race back in '96. Is that correct? '96?
I think that was Damon Hill back in '96.
He was driving the Williams at that time?
He was driving for Williams. I know that was after the I think it was a couple of years after the unfortunate passing of Ayrton Senna, and Williams showed some real pace after what happened. And also, it looks like we're on the formation lap. I didn't realise it started so quick.
I know, I didn't think that either. I literally turned my back for a second, looked back, and they're starting a formation lap. All right, look, so I'll run through the list. So starting from the back, unfortunately, but someone else start there, is Stretch starting in 20th in his Renault. We then have Button in his Williams starting 19th. Josh with the Dosh, that man likes to bring his bling, I hear. He's starting 18th in his Ferrari. Anger Fists in the Toro Rosso, Honda powered, Jap powered. So looking good for Angerfist to hopefully move up there. Jake Moore starts in the Red Bull, another Honda Power. Do you know what I like Honda Power? Can you kind of get that feeling? Peter is in the he's in the Merc. He's in 15th. Junior. Petronas Junior in the Haas. Petronas in the McLaren. Go on, McLaren. Roberts in the second Haas. I expect those three guys to move up nearly straight away, lap 1 or 2. John in 11th in the second Mercedes. Grizz in the other Ferrari in 10th. Chosen in 9th. Yes, in the second Alfa. Good on him. Peppermeat, go on the Irish. In 8th in the second McLaren. Skunk Burner in 7th, and he is also in another Williams. And then Joker is in the second Toro Rosso, Honda powered. Ching, like the Honda Power. Magic Mark in the first of the Racing Points, followed by Shane in third in another Racing Point, with Charismatic starting outside in second in his Alpha, followed up with our pole sitter Benji Enzo in the Renault, who's starting pole on the outside going into one. I don't know about you, Primus, but this is going to be epic. Cannot wait.
We are going to witness history, everyone. Season 1 of the F2 season with RSF1. Me, personally, I couldn't be any more happier to be in the position I am now with Bodder. We have both got front row seats to witness this historical event for everyone who made this happen. So we are going to see an interesting battle going into turn 1. Those Force Indias look very hungry to get those positions, and as you said, the Haas cars cannot be looked over, especially if RSF1 Petronas. The only problem is can they get through the middle markers? We'll find out very shortly. So we are going to get the 5 red lights to the first race of the RSF1 season of F2, and away they go. So Benji Enzo leading Charismix. Magic Marks gets a good run on Shane, and Joker takes the lead. Shane has fallen back a couple of places of Peppermeat going into 5th place. Benji taking the lead. Senna is gone from the session again, so we got a decent start there. So following from the first corner, so it's Benji, Charismix, Marks, Joker, Peppermeat, Briz, Chosen, Roberts, Patronus, Skunk, Junior, John Digweed. I couldn't say that name very quick. Pite. Button and Shane are battling for positions. We have lost a car. Down the back is WR Chosen.
There's an Alpha gone around. It's Chosen. Chosen's gone around there in turn 4, I think it was. It's unfortunate. But
it's a very poor start for Chosen.
Yeah, those first few turns, you can see the drivers had their elbows out. They were a bit of Bit of bang in there, so there was. But look, the majority of them kept it clean. It's good to see the racing.
Contact was made between Angerfist and Chosen because they have both got front wing damage, which will be investigated after the race. But we can see that it's not going to be a good race for them, but they will have to go on to a more preservative finish. But it has to be said, an amazing move by Marks to keep it. I think Shane just got one of the worst starts that he could get because he fell from a P4 to P15. It's a very poor start for him. And Peppermeat moving up from 8th. Oh, and Peppermeat gets a good look on the inside on the Toro Rosso, but he just couldn't do it because there just wasn't enough time. So can he he's trying to look for the slipstream of the car, but it looks like Joker is also hoping to maybe make a pass on Magic Marks.
Yeah.
So we are now going through turns 2, and I think he's going to make the move. Can Magic Marks hold off the Toro Rosso? Yes, he can. And there's a battle between the two leaders of Benji Enzo and Charismic.
Yeah.
It looks like Charismic is not happy with Benji taking that pole from him in the qualifying, so he is going to put up that fight.
Yeah, the two of them are starting to pull away as well. They've got about a second and a half of a time to back to Magic Mark. I hope the two guys out in front don't run through their tyres too quick. I know Charismic wants to get out in front, but he can't burn through his tyres too quickly.
It's very, very risky, especially in these opening laps, because everyone's aiming to get in front of each other, and PMT Briz makes a move. It is almost 3 wide going into turns 11 and 12 between Briz, Peppermeat and Joker, but Briz gets a good... Oh, we lost a car! We've lost a Force India! We've lost
Magic Marks up to
Magic
spinning,
Marks.
is he? No, he's got damage.
Oh, and we've lost Paita as well. Paita is out of the session in the Mercedes. As I think that is the treacherous turn 12.
Yeah.
And we've got a virtual safety car. Virtual safety car is deployed.
Charismic is right all over the back of that Renault gearbox. He's letting them know once the restart comes, he's going to be gunning for him.
This is also kind of good for the cars that have had accidents, because now that they pitted, the virtual safety car will hold the pack back, so it gives them a chance to try and come back and take some positions.
Yeah, essentially it's a bit of a free pit stop. I don't really. Probably under VSC, it's probably not, but at least it's not as severe as if we were green flag racing. Obviously, you want to put under safety car full safety is where you want to be with that. But jeez, it's intense.
And we are underway. We are racing again, and Charismic is getting a look on the back of Benji Enzo's Renault, and we are now going through the first sector with Charismic battling with Benji Enzo to just take that position, and it looks like Benji is holding well with the pressure put by his rival. I can definitely say these two are rivals, because Charismic is really putting on a show, and it looks like Peppermeat is under pressure from DP Roberts. I'm surprised the Haas did regain those positions like we thought they did, and Paita has left the session after following a very terrible accident into turn 12.
Yeah, no, that's unfortunate. It's you don't want to say, oh, Junior!
Junior is out of the session.
Not good for the Haas driver. He doesn't want that round 1. I feel from there.
It's very, very horrible for Junior after such amazing pace shown. And we are going into the last corner on board with PMT Briz, who is on the DRS. Oh, we have lost a car! Charismic is out of the session!
Oh no!
We have lost
Charismic. Just seen last of it. I just saw last of it. Look as if maybe possibly Wondersteer or something like that. He left the button as well.
I think he might have just been putting so much pressure on Benji and just crashed going into turn 16.
It could have been dirty air on the front wing for all we know. I had to speak to Charismic after to see what was going on, but he's not going to be happy with that. He's left the session straight away. It's not happy. I can completely agree with him.
Good.
Yeah. That actually happened to me here as well. This back in round 1, coming out of the last turn, got a small bit of understeer, clipped the front wing. That's it.
It looks like maybe contact was made between PMT Briz and Joker going into 90 degree, because looks like Joker slowed up a little bit and the Ferrari made contact with the gearbox of the Toro Rosso, but PMT Briz is in the DRS. No, I think he's actually suffering from a No, he's got the DRS on. He just wasn't activating it. I thought he had a DRS failure. And
he's sitting tight. He's going to sit tight for the front straight. Look, that's what he's doing. He's sitting right behind him. He can wait for it.
He is waiting. That Ferrari is all over the gearbox of the Honda Power Toro Rosso. Going into turn 16. Joker has got no DRS to help him. Looks like PMT is going to try and get a look on the inside. He just cannot. He's going to go wait through turns 1 and 2 into the second DRS zone of the track. It's interesting. Can the Ferrari make the move? Peppermeat is also in 4th place, followed by DP Roberts in 5th. And it looks like Roberts is putting on pressure onto Peppermeat.
Yeah.
We have lost Shane. Shane is out of the session.
No.
A very poor start for the Force India team today because they had shown such amazing pace. Racing Point, if you're going to correct me in the chat, Racing Point showed an amazing start in terms of qualifying to the season, but it just looks like in the race they both just had crumbled a little bit under the pressure. But it's no worries, we've still got 20 more races ahead of us, so we are going to see some more nail-biting racing. Jake Moore moves up to 12th place over Angerfist. Peppermeat is under pressure from the Haas of DP Roberts, so we're going to go into the DRS zone. It just looks like Roberts is not close enough. He's still within a second, and I think PMT Briz is now going to get another good run through turns 15 to 16 on the Toro Rosso. Can he do it, Bodder? That's the main question.
Well, this is it. Like, the Joker is starting to build a bit of a train there behind him. He's got Briz like nearly just over half a second behind him. Half a second behind him is Peppermeat, and then 4 tenths behind that is Roberts. All these guys, as PMT pulls into the pits, Briz pulls into the pits. Okay, so obviously he needs to get those softs off.
We're going to see a battle between the Haas and McLaren of Peppermeat and DP Roberts going into turn 2. In the DRS is DP Roberts, so he goes
Peppermeat takes the inside.
Peppermeat is on the inside, and Peppermeat closes the door on DP Roberts. Nice and clean defending from the McLaren driver there.
Great driving, great defensive driving as well. That's what I want to do. Going down the DRS zone, you want to take it on the inside so that the driver behind you has literally go through you to take the corner. Obviously, you can't do that. We're racing, but that's what you want to do. You want to take the inside nearly every time going in.
And it's a good move by Peppermeat. It puts him up into 3rd place. Good run from Peppermeat. I think his fans with Timmer are going to be cheering on the Irishman for a possible win or even his first podium of the season.
Yeah, I've got to give a shout out to Timmy as well. One of his son's birthdays was just recently, so I've got to give a shout out to Lachlan. Happy birthday, dude.
What was his birthday? Sorry, what was his name, sorry?
Lachlan.
Lachlan, happy birthday, Lachlan, from the RSF1 League. We hope you had a very lovely day, and we hope you enjoy this race, young man.
Do you want to just have to notice as well, a lot of these guys, DP Roberts runs a bit wide there. These guys are on the 5-lap softs. Those softs are not going to be holding up too well. We're going to see those guys have to come in and pit. The thing is, are they going to come in and pit a bit later on, possibly go on to the hards, or are they going to 2-stop and go soft, medium?
I have a feeling that the soft tyre runners will definitely go to medium tyres, but we cannot excuse RSF1 Petronas. He is on the hards. I think he's actually leaving on the hards. Let's have a look at Petronas is now pitting off the hard tyres and he's going to the mediums. I would have thought he would have stayed on the hards. No, he had wing damage.
Going in for a wing change.
But we can definitely say for cars like Benji Enzo and Joker, because Joker is actually gaining on the pole, on the leader of the race. I was about to say pole sitter, but it's not qualifying. But Joker is definitely keeping up with our race leader, and also Peppermeat. He's holding off DP Roberts quite well, but also keeping up with Joker. So Peppermeat is holding on to those tyres really well. It looks like he might be exceeding his race fuel, because it looks like his fuel WLR Chosen has received a 3-second time penalty for receiving multiple warnings on cutting the corner and exceeding track limits.
Yeah, just to follow up on your point there, you were saying about Peppermeat and his under-fueling of the car, possibly with the yellow point there at the fuel. Possibly could have under-fueled the car, and then he's setting the car in lean mode to try and build back a bit of fuel. It just makes the car lighter to start off your race.
Indeed, and Peppermeat is actually into the pits on lap 8 of the Australian Grand Prix, and he is now going to put on a set of hard tyres. Peppermeat is probably going for the one-stop strategy. Is it possible, Budder?
Yeah, he can do that. Yeah, the hards will do 20 laps on the hards. That's not a problem. Now, in saying that, you could be at 65, possibly 70% on your back left by the time you finish up your 21st, 22nd lap on your hards. So, although he'll have the pace now, and throughout the mid pack of the tyre's life, good battle there.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you
Peppermeat.
there, Botta, but PMT Briz goes round the outside of Peppermeat
Great overtake.
through that turn, but it looks like they had a little bit of an issue when Peppermeat left the pits, because it just looks like when Peppermeat almost got the undercut on PMT Briz just wasn't ready to surrender that position on the medium to unbound tyres. Peppermeat with a 3-second time penalty for receiving multiple corners on cutting the corner and exceeding the track limits.
Those 3 seconds could mean a podium, or could mean 4th or 5th, 6th place even coming to the end of the race. You don't want to be cutting your corners. You can get your warnings, but you do not want to get your 3-second penalties. They add up over the course of a race.
And it looks like DP Roberts is not ready to pit yet. He wants to open the gap between him and Peppermeat. And I don't think he knows that Peppermeat has gotten that penalty. We've got a slow-moving car in the pits for some reason. It's one of the Alfa Romeos of WOR Chosen. He has parked the car in the pit lane. That's very, very dangerous, because anyone who's willing to pit will end up hitting him. So I know he didn't want to catch all the cars running, but this is a race. You are allowed to make a move and try and gain some position. So that will be investigated, because I don't think we're really allowed to park the car in the pits.
No, I'm kind of surprised the game didn't disqualify the car for that. You can't stop the car in the pits. It's just one of those things about racing. Maybe he was looking to filter back into the flow of traffic and just looking for a spot, and that's why he wants to stop the car for maybe a few seconds. I don't know.
I would have understood if he maybe came out and let all the other cars by. That would have been completely fine, but it's very, very risky. Very risky driving, parking. Yeah. He was completely stationary. He was not moving. The car was not in gear. So it was a very unusual choice made by the Alfa Romeo driver. Our stewards will have to investigate into the choices made by WOR Chosen. But anyways, let's carry on with the race, with Benji Enzo now crossing the line to go on to lap 10 of the Australian Grand Prix, and a tremendous start for the German driver, but Joker and Roberts are just not ready to surrender until, they can taste that podium. Or maybe
Benji's starting to pull away a small bit. He's got like nearly 3.4 seconds, probably 3.5 seconds nearly of a gap to second place. So he's slowly but surely starting to creep away from the rest of the guys. In saying that though, Roberts and the guys just behind him on the softs, they are right behind each other here. There's a great battle for second going on.
John Digweed has actually caught up quite well to DP Roberts. So a car that, he didn't really do too amazing in the qualifying sessions. But, to see this Mercedes driver suddenly pop out of nowhere like some meerkat and try and snatch the position away from DP Roberts, we are about to go into 90 degree, followed by Joker, Roberts and John Digweed. So not much time separates the three cars.
No, they're all... It could be one of those things of who thinks first. Who goes into the pits first. That's what we could be looking at here.
It's going to be a very, very interesting thing. It looks like he cut the corner just there, so he got a better run out of turn 12. But it looks like John's just not close enough to get a move on the Haas. So I think here the battle will begin. We've got a yellow flag in the first and second sector, so something has happened.
But you want to spin it there. I think it was turn 6, just going to 6.
And DP Roberts lost it a little bit going out of turn 15 when John Digweed moved on the inside. I think that was a very good move made by John, and I think Roberts just crumbled a little bit with those worn tyres. We'll find out more later on, but that looks like a good move made by John Digweed, and looks like him and Joker will be trying to stay out and press those tyres, because you can see Joker and John want that pole. They want Benji to pit, but I don't know how John's going to hold on to those soft tyres, because we do know those mediums can go on for just a little bit longer, but he's holding on to those starting tyres very well.
Yeah, and Roberts is also going for the 2-stop as well. It'll be interesting to see where he finished up the race. I know the rest of the league is probably watching us going, 2-stop, 1-stop, what am I going to be doing in my race?
WOR Stretches had a little accident. He's lost it a little bit going out the first sector, which puts Skunk Burner to 4th place.
Skunk Burner will be happy with that. You're very happy with that.
Looks like, as Repster calls them, the boats are really showing what it means to be in the league.
Now, when is John going to pit? Because John is going to lose now on the undercut.
It looks like he will do indeed, because DP Roberts is not too far behind. He's really getting good grips on those mediums. If John wants any hope of getting some good positions, he had a pit, but no, he's not pitting right now. He wants clean air, but those softs are not holding on, and John had a bad exit going out of turn 16 while Joker pits in the Toro Rosso. This is very riskful driving here by John, but could he be actually making the biggest gamble? And he got a 3-second penalty. I think John just made the big mistake there.
Yeah, he doesn't want that. I'd love to know what his tyre temperatures and what his tyre status is at the minute, because I say his tyres are absolutely screaming at him to come in and change them. He's probably looking to maybe get another lap or two out of him, and he's going to watch the hards so he can get the best possible out of the hards. But to be honest, he could have nearly pitted that lap and went on to the hards and still come out
and
fairly okay.
A battle between DP Roberts and Joker. Going down in the inside is Joker, with Roberts on the outside, side by side, going into the fast chicane to Sector 1. Looks like Joker just got shoved off the track there, but Roberts took the position and is up into 5th place. And we've lost a car as well. We have lost Jake Moore. No, we haven't lost Jake Moore. That's WLR Chosen.
Yeah, the car spun around.
What is Chosen doing? Chosen he's managing to get the car back on, but he's not having a good race today. I don't know how Chosen, is he going to take the car home? Is he going to bring it to the pits and retire? We will find out later, but it's a very bad start for the Alfa Romeo team today, especially with his teammate Charismic having the ability to fight. And our race leader, speaking of race leaders in the battles, Benji Enzo has now gone to pit onto the hard tyres. Can DP Roberts get the undercut? No, he can't. He's way too far behind. So Benji Enzo got a nice comfortable pit stop, and he is now going for the one-stop strategy, followed by John. Can John get out in front of the Haas driver and the Ferrari of PMT? Can John salvage what he has lost? No, he cannot. He has fallen behind Pepperme in the McLaren.
Now it's going to be interesting to see that Benji's out on the hards. The two guys behind him on mediums, and the freshest of that is DP Roberts. So it'll be interesting to see tyre strategies. Will the mediums catch up to the hards? There's only 3 or 4 or 5 seconds really of the time difference between them. Can he make it up?
That's a very good question indeed, and only more laps will tell between this good battle in round 1 of the F2 season. And it just looks like Benji has just cruised very well, but obviously it is not over yet. We thought Charismics would be battling with him, and unfortunately we lost Charismics, I think, in the opening few laps of the race after the virtual safety car.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, because he did start second and he followed Benji for nearly the opening laps. He's right behind him. He just couldn't make it work now with the VSC down, unfortunately. I don't know whether it was a bit of dirty air, something like that, maybe on his front wing, maybe just a bit of understeer in the last turn. Just didn't work out for him, so I feel good for Prismic.
And it looks like, because of what's happened with his rival, Benji is able to try and keep his car ahead of the others, and it looks like Joker sets the fastest lap of the session with a 1:25.8, because I think Joker is really gaining on the Haas of DP Roberts, and DP Roberts is gaining on the Ferrari of PMT Briz.
Yeah, Briz is holding everything up now. Briz is starting to make that bit of a train, so Roberts really needs to make that move sooner rather than later and get by Briz so he can get away from Joker, because if Joker gets, obviously he's within his DRS now, but if he manages to stay within his DRS, that could possibly cause problems then for Roberts. I think Roberts might make a move soon.
Going into 90-degree turn, can Roberts make the move? No, he cannot. PMT Briz just keeps it, but we cannot look away from these two yet, because we're about to enter the infamous turns 11 and 12 into the final DRS zone of the session. The track, sorry. So going through turns 12, Roberts
John just went by Peppermeat there,
DRS.
sorry to interrupt, just before turn 12.
That's alright,
Great
and
move,
it looks
so
like
great move,
Roberts cannot do it, but it looks like Peppermeat is not looking to give up that position. He wants 5th place back, And so Peppermeat is going to try and make the move on John Digweed on the main straight, but DP Roberts is getting a good run on the Ferrari driver, so we are on the main straight, beginning lap 16. DP Roberts is gaining on the Ferrari. Can he make the move into turn 1? No, he cannot, so he will hang on into turns 1 and 2. But he took the cut and it didn't look like it worked out in his favour, and he lost a bit of time. Skunk burn over 124.4. Good move by the Williams driver.
Great move, great move. Yeah, it's unfortunate to see Roberts have to cut the corner like that, but all he wants to do is stick on the back of that Ferrari. He doesn't want to lose that because he needs the DRS, he needs to get by him and needs to apply pressure to Briz. He wants Briz to make the mistake to get him, so he can obviously get by him, get the racing line so he can get away from Joker. This is essentially a three-way battle here for second.
This is a very good battle for second place. We definitely know Benji has got a comfortable lead, but can he maintain it? But obviously, PMT Briz and DP Roberts is definitely giving the fans a really good show. We're followed by Joker in 4th place, with John Digweed in the Mercedes behind him, with Peppermeat in 6th place, Magic Mark in 7th place, what did I say second? Skunk Burner in 8th, Jake Moore in 9th, Joshua Dosh in 10th, WOR Stretch in 11th, Angerfist 12th, and in last place of the session right now is RSF1 Patronus in the McLaren.
Yeah, just looking through the tyres there as well, it's kind of a mixed bag at the minute. Most, I think, are kind of going for the 1-stop. More than I expected to go for a 2-stop. That's kind of unusual. I was expecting pretty much nearly everyone to go for a 1-stop.
It's interesting because PMT Briz's tyres are 10 laps old, and Roberts' car has got tyres that are 5 laps fresher than the Ferrari driver. Roberts really wants to get past the Ferrari, but that Ferrari is just forming a wall that Roberts just cannot pierce through.
Yeah, Joker is starting to fall back as well a bit from Roberts, so there's 2-second gap now between them. So I wonder is the hards obviously not giving him the performance that he wants, and that's why John is now starting to get on the back of Joker.
And looks like we're going to get a battle going into the 90-degree turn. It is PMT Briz defending against Roberts. They cut the grass. PMT just managed to cut off Roberts. We don't know if that was clean, but we will see that the racing will continue going into turns 11 and 12, and it looks like Roberts is staying with DRS range within the Ferrari, and we've got a beautiful camera pan shot of the battle between 2nd place and 3rd place.
The problem is now, if you look on board with Roberts, his ERS is so low. His ERS is like 9, 10, 11%. He doesn't have it there for the start straights. That's when he wants to pump it up into overtake mode, burn the ERS out of it, get as much power as he can. It's just not there from at the minute. Briz pits.
And Briz has now gone into the pits, and it puts Roberts up into 2nd place. That is good. That's what Robert needed. And he has got Joker following behind on the hard tyres, with John Digweed and Peppermeat all moving up a position. PMT Briz definitely wanted to try and burn the tyres of all the cars behind him before he pits. So it's like leaving a scar on the other cars.
So now what Roberts wants to do is he's clean air. He needs to get that gap to form. He needs to break away from Joker. He should in theory be able to do it. 2 different types of tyre compounds. Roberts is on the mediums while Joker's on the hards. He should be able to pull away from him, because what he wants is he wants John to get held up by Joker, so Roberts can hopefully go forward and then battle with Benji.
And it looks like Benji Enzo is still comfortable in 1st place, but it looks like the battle now for 2nd place has transitioned from PMT Briz to Roberts to Joker. Going into turns 11 and 12, and Roberts gets a 3-second time penalty. That is crucial. Roberts has been given a 3-second penalty for receiving multiple warnings on cutting the corners and exceeding track limits. But I can clearly see there he just cut turns 11, and unfortunately that penalty was fairly rewarded to the Haas driver.
He's not going to be happy with himself over that. That could really come back to bite him at the end of the race. He's not going to be happy with himself over that. But as I said at the start of the show, he's not. Oh, it's a big wiggle there from Joker. I don't know if you saw that. Roberts just isn't happy with the track. He says it's not his track. But look, it's one track of 21. You know, the season isn't won here. The season is won with consistency over the course of 21 tracks. But look, it's only week 1.
Indeed, everyone. So to everyone that did happen to go out of the race at the beginning, do not worry. the battle will continue into the next round, into Bahrain, Sakir at Bahrain. But for now, we are still on lap 18 of the Australian Grand Prix, leading with Benji Enzo, followed by Roberts with his 3-second time penalty, puts him at risk of losing his podium position to Joker and John.
It's a bit of a battle here forming up for 8th place. Jake Moore is holding off Josh with the dash.
Indeed, Josh with Dosh and WOR stretch as well. So Jake is trying to hold off.
Briz has spun it. He's on the
No, we've lost Briz.
Yeah, he just won their coming out 5.
That's very unfortunate. He also has wing damage. He's lost one of the end plates on his car.
Yeah, he's understeering.
And Skunk Meat got down the inside of Peppermeat going into turn 13, but Peppermeat is not done. Peppermeat gets a good run going out of turn 14, going into turns 15. Can Peppermeat get a decent run with the ERS deployment on the Williams driver? We'll find out on the main straight. So DRS is active. Can the McLaren catch the Williams? He is slowly gaining on him, but I don't think he's just going to get enough speed to catch him now, but he will catch him hopefully into turns 1 through 2. He cut the corner and he lost a little bit of time on the Williams. I don't know if he'll be able to make the move, but it looks like Peppermeat might just be able to make a move maybe down the inside, but he can't because he's just too far away from Skunk Burner.
Yeah, it's just not there from him. He needs to pull out and kind of reassess, build it back up his ERS and go again.
It looks like Josh with Dosh is putting on pressure. The WOR stretch in the Ferrari. Sorry, what was I saying?
It's interesting because two of them on nearly the same tyres. So two of them on the hards, obviously one with 7 laps old and the other about 8 laps old. So again, interesting to see how that forms. The Joker's right behind Roberts. Right behind him, turn 12 there at the minute.
I think EMT Briz had some form of penalty because his team actually took a little bit to work on the car before they put his new wing and tyres on. He had a stop and go, I think.
Well, it's kind of a bit of a bug in the game that if you're getting a wing replacement, the spectators, necessarily don't see that. So I say he was getting a new wing.
Possibly. It would be a shame if he had one though, because that means his race went from really good to really bad, especially the fact that he put on a good show and holding up Roberts, because Roberts' tyres, I don't know if he'll be able to hold on till the end of the session, because he has to pit again. Those tyres were just damaged way too much trying to get past that Ferrari, and now he's going to use that tyre life to hold off Joker in the Toro Rosso in 3rd place. Very good battle for 2nd.
Yeah, Roberts doing his best here to hold off Joker. The mediums, he might get another 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 laps out of it. The hards will do double that nearly, so the tyre life could be coming into existence now in the next few laps. While we're saying that, Peppermeat is right behind Skunk Burner. Williams was braking a bit late. Always cut the corner a small bit. Peppermeat's right in the back of Skunk Burner and Williams. They're about to go into turn 11. He's a bit too far back to make a move yet, but
I realised, well, I took a moment to have a drink, so I muted my microphone, and I realised I was commentating with a muted mic because I didn't want everyone to hear me having a drink.
It's okay, because I was basically doing the same thing at the start of the stream.
Looks like we're both even for round 1. And Joker is going to get the DRS on DP Roberts on the main straight. Can Joker make the move?
Mode.
Yes, he can. Going down the inside of DP Roberts down into turn 1, and he takes 2nd place. Well done by Joker, but can Roberts make the move in maybe retaking his position? I just think his tyres are too worn for him to make a counter-attack.
Yeah, the ERS, the battery is not there from either. He doesn't have the power in the battery, which I have remembered that the battery potentially gives you another 160 horsepower. So it's nearly another, just over 1/10 of the power of the car, which gives you that little bit extra you need coming out of a slipstream to give you that edge going into turn 1.
So Peppermeat has a chance for a podium if he can get past John Digweed in the Mercedes and then manage to gain on to DP Roberts. He could initially overthrow Roberts' time penalty, but then again we forgot Peppermeat also has a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, we're going to need Roberts and John as well. Like they might have to pit. No, I don't know that.
They will indeed.
Will
Those
they?
medium tyres looks like they're struggling because they can choose to stay out on the tyres for as long as they can, but it definitely will be hanging them out to dry. It all depends on if they want to take the risk, but Roberts right now, with that penalty and those worn tyres, can he hold on?
You see, if Roberts was going to softs will give you at least 8 good laps. So I think Roberts is
It
holding
looks like
out here.
DP Roberts is gaining on Jokers. So going in through turn 1 to turns 2 into the DRS zone, I think Roberts might be able to make the move on Joker. So he's in the DRS, but he's not in the slipstream of the Toro Rosso, and he just misses out on probably making the move in one of the most crucial overtaking points of the entire race.
Yeah, no, Roberts, what he's doing now, he's sitting back, studying, waiting for the mistake. At the same time, he's building his ERS, he's building his battery, waiting for that moment, waiting for that split-second error by Joker, and then he'll go. That's what he wants. It's a bit like an animal stalking his prey. That's what Roberts is doing right now, the Joker.
Right now he is stalking the gazelle in the Toro Rosso, so he is just waiting for that gazelle to just step out of line and then catch him.
Meanwhile, Magic Mark is right behind Skunk Burner. Of course, Magic Mark is on the brand new softs, whereas Skunk Burner is on brand new mediums.
So it looks like, can Magic Marks make a move round the outside? No, he cannot, so he gets a good Briz. Briz gets a time penalty round the outside on the fast corner. Can he make a good move into 90 degrees? We will find out now. Round the outside goes Magic Marks, but Skunk Burner holds off the Force India, but the Force India is not done yet. And leaving 90 degree going to turn 11 onto the grass. It's side by side racing by Magic Marks and Skunk Burner going to turn 11, still battling, going into the DRS zone, side by side again,
still
by Magic Marks and Skunk Burner going into turn 13, and Magic Mark makes the move, but it looks like Skunk Burner is still on the outside, getting a good run into turn 14. Now it looks like Magic Marks just stuck it, and he just kept it, but we cannot forget Skunk Burner could just get a good run, get back in the DRS, and he might be able to make a move on him again. We'll find out now. Can he get it? Yes, he is. He's gaining really quick on the Force India, so he won't take him into turn 1 and 2, but he will make a move in the second DRS zone. This will be interesting. So into the DRS is Skunk Burner gaining on Magic Mark. Is he going to make a move down the inside? No, he will not. He will back off, and he will let him go.
The grip is there from. The grip isn't there for me. Magic Mark is on the soft, so I expect Magic Mark to start pulling away. And to be honest, he is. He's small, but he's over half a second now at the minute. Oh, a bit of a wiggle there by Skunk Burner.
Oh, that's a very, very good little save there by Skunk Burner. Remember, that corner is very underlooked because you push it through there after leaving the mass battle zone of the second DRS zone, and you just forget that that's like the end point of the first sector. Wrong move, clip the curb, and you'll lose the car. I know that for sure.
You certainly know that. I think that's where you wrecked the car in your social. Am I correct in saying that?
That is correct indeed. I remember when you made the announcement to my father, I had my stream loaded up on the side, and as I crashed, you said, and Primus is on his lap, so I have an announcement. I was like, no, brother, not now!
Sorry.
That's alright. The whole intention of that race went through. It was a lovely day indeed. But we will bring that up another time, as we are seeing a battle going on between the cars in second, third and fourth. Only a small amount of time separates the three cars. Joker is under pressure from DP Roberts on the very worn mediums, and then behind him is John Digweed with two lap fresher tyres on Roberts. But can John get the move done?
Yeah, it's the same thing we were seeing before the pit stops. Joker has a bit of a train behind him. The guys are hustling him. We want to get by you. That's what they're basically saying to him. You can see us in the mirrors. We want to get by you. Please let us by. But Joker is saying, nope, this is my position. I'm taking second. I want podium. Obviously, Benji's gone with the win so far. So look, it's all the play for here for second place and third at the minute.
But it looks like John is also taking advantage, because I don't think he knows, but Roberts has got a penalty going into the last corner. John is in the DRS zone. Magic Marks with a 3-second time penalty for receiving multiple warnings on cutting the corners and exceeding the track limits. And then going in through turn 1 to 2, DP Roberts is still in the gearbox of the Toro Rosso, but he just cannot get close enough. But John Digweed is still biting at the tail of Roberts.
He's right at the gearbox. I'd say you can already smell the oil off it, so he could.
It looks like the lion stalking the gazelle is getting stalked by another lion.
That's it.
Now going into lap 25 of the first round of the F2 season. It has been very, very exciting. We've had our fair share of amazing battles and heartbreak going into the beginning of the season.
The battles are still going on. It's great. There's no lull in this race.
Indeed.
The battles are still going on. There's a battle here for second currently. Like, Joker is holding these two guys up. They want to get by though. They want to get by.
Joker is losing time to John and Roberts.
Yeah, this is the problem we're seeing. Roberts is in a tough spot because he's the ham in this sandwich. He's getting squeezed by both these drivers. He wants to get out in front. He needs to get by Joker and let John get held up by Joker.
Oh, John looks like he got a bad run out of turn 15 going into the final corner. He just lost it. I think that's where John is losing time to Roberts. It's very unfortunate because through a good point there, he was all over the gearbox of the Haas driver, and Jake Moore receiving a 3-second time penalty for, a Joker just clipped the grass there and almost lost the rear end of the car.
Ever so slightly, just got it. I just had a quick look there at Roberts. His ERS is still very low, very low. He needs to build that up because I don't know whether he's using it to get away from John or whether he's using it to try and attack Joker, but the ERS, the battery, is just not working for him in his favour at the minute.
And John really, really wants this podium. I remember John also has a penalty, so no matter what happens here, if Roberts can hold off John, then John can miss out on his first podium of the season. DP Roberts having such a poor start to the season with I think he was qualifying in 12th place, with Junior in 14th, moving up into 3rd place in the race, battling for the podium position and putting pressure on Joker. Can he make the move? Going around the outside of Joker, and they make contact. He touches the back of the Toro Rosso, but he just has to back off because obviously if he makes contact, it's too dangerous to keep pressing the attack. But that backs him up into John Digweed. John Digweed gets a good run out of the second to last corner going into turn 16. They both had DRS, and it looks like John is on the attack finally, being closer to Roberts, and now Roberts as well. Having that contact set him back, and it had to slow up John. So going into the second DRS zone, John is in the slipstream of Roberts.
It's Ferris going around Grizz, going around in
and he
sector
dive bombs round the outside, and he had to back off. He had to back off. This is intense because John is not letting this go. We have a PMT Briz losing it there, but he managed to get the car out of the way to let the free podium fighters go by, but it looks like John just got a bad exit going out of the first sector, going into 90 degree with Joker in front of DPS Roberts with John Digweed behind. It's a shame Peppermeat is not close enough to take advantage of the penalties going on, but he's still doing good nonetheless.
I just had a very, very brief, quick look at the penalty situation. I think Roberts is going to end up the loser out of this situation with Joker and John being the guys to get. But look, I'm just looking at the tyres here, like 15, 16, 14 laps on these tyres. I know Joker's out with the hard, so he probably is the best out of all of them. But it's going to be now who can control, or who can get the best out.
And it looks like John Digweed went down the inside of DP Roberts when he made a mistake, and he takes 3rd place. That was an amazing little moment of taking advantage of a mistake made by DP Roberts. But DP Roberts has managed to recover enough to catch back up to John. Can he retake the position? But it's just
DP Roberts, big slide
Roberts,
there. Big slide.
Roberts. Roberts has lost it.
The tyres
and it looks like
from.
That is an unfortunate turn of events for DP Roberts. He was doing so amazing in the pressure and the tyres. And, it's what happens in racing. They both have provided an amazing battle, but it's not over yet because the fight for second place is now between Joker and John. And this is really interesting, but unfortunately, I think if Joker has got multiple penalties, we'll have a little look. Has Joker got any penalties that could put him at risk of John? All contact at the wall made by John there. Luckily, no damage to the wing, which is very, very lucky. But remember, it takes one little slip-up to cause a tearful end to the session. So very good, gripping racing made by DPS Roberts. DPR Roberts. Sorry, DPS. I'm sorry. Oh, and John loses the back end going out of turn 13, and it allows Roberts to slowly push his way back up. This is not going good for the Mercs. Their tyres are gone. Literally, it is like they've just gotten the rubber in their pencil cases and just stuck it on the end of the car and said, "Yeah, right, I'll race with that."
Yeah, I just had a quick look there at the penalties. It looks very, very even. I didn't go down to the whole lot of it, but it looks very, very even on penalties between John Dickwood anyway, at least. Right, Ron, last lap. Who would you say is driver of the day?
I have to give driver of the day to Roberts, because he put on such an amazing show to the entire crowd in today's race, bringing amazing battles, recovering from a 12th place start to take home P4. It may not be the podium that he wanted, but I tell you what, Haas has certainly brought home some much needed points for the start of the season, because if they don't win the drivers, we've still got the constructors, but it looks like it just won't be enough for him to win the race. But who's your driver of the day?
Well, it's really a toss-up really for me. Well, first off, like you mentioned, the Stretch he's up 14 positions from the start, so that's good for him. I know it's 6th place, a few points coming his way, so he's happy enough with that. Benji, though, for me, has just been a masterclass. He's done what he's needed to do. He's got pole and just ran his race, and he's there. He's out in front,
and he crosses the line. Benji Enzo wins the first race of the season. Congratulations to the Renault team, and Benji Enzo now takes the lead in the championship, followed by Joker taking second place.
Yeah.
And DPS Roberts moved into third. DP Roberts moved into third place after
I knew
John,
it was very close between John and
penalties.
DP. Yeah, I knew it was very close between them, but I didn't know which one had the extra one. But I knew it was very close between them. Who the extra 3 seconds?
DP will be completely ecstatic. He's out of fuel, and he has done amazing. His car is creeping.
It's a great job by Roberts. Like he stuck it in as much as he could. Like 19 laps on your mediums, that's unheard of. You don't really do that. Like, you know, that's kind of the standard we see on the hards. Not so much
that's
on the mediums.
That's why he's earned my driver of the day. That's why he's earned it. He put an amazing race in, dead tyres, and he takes home a podium finish. It's an amazing race by F2.
Yeah, well done. Whew, that was intense, man.
That was an intense race.
That was intense.
Benji commanded the lead. The Toro Rosso, he's being completely pressurized from the battle behind him, and he managed to hold off the Merc and DP. And DP having to fall off the track, losing his position to John. It was incredible to show that DP's persistence came in and it got him a podium finish for today.
Yeah, he hassled the drivers in front of him. He just hassles them. That's what you need to do when you're in that position. Just hassle and hassle. Hopefully a mistake will happen. And of course it did. It got the 3-second time belt to come in. Okay. Do you want to run through the grid?
So our grid finishing with Benji Enzo winning the race today in first place. A commanding race from him. Well done to Benji Enzo in the Renault team. Followed by Joker in second place in the Toro Rosso, with Roberts in third. And he did an amazing battle. John Digweed taking 4th place, which is not bad for the Welshman. Very good driving. Peppermeat taking 5th place after starting from 8th. So really well done to Peppermeat. I'm pretty sure that's made Timo and his sons happy. Stretch in 6th. Magic Marks in 7th. Josh with Dosh in 8th. Skunk Burner 9th. Jake Moore 10th. Angerfist 11th. Patronus 12th. Briz in 13th. Chosen in 14th. Shane in 15th. Charismic in 16th. Button 17th, and it's Senna Junior 18th, and Pie Eater in 19th. And I just realised Senna never got to start.
No, he obviously lagged out or something happened there, so we'll have to see what happened with that after.
So we are here with our podium races. So we will begin with Roberts. Roberts, a very poor qualifying start. You started in, I think, P12 with your teammate in P14, losing your teammate back in the early stages of the race, but you managed to come home with third place. How do you feel?
Guys, sorry to interrupt. Just
Cheers,
make sure you
mate.
tick your boxes.
Oh.
Just make sure you tick your boxes.
Yeah. Done, mate.
Awesome.
Yeah, it felt really good, mate. Disappointed with qualifying because Q1, me and Junior were first and second, and then Q2 didn't leave himself enough time to come out and set my lap. So
What happened
rookie
going into
mistake.
turn 15? When you went into turn 15 back in the late stages of the race, you looked like you lost it a little bit going out the corner, which allowed John to make a move and then take you from the outside when you went into turn 16. How did you feel after you saw that Mercedes pass you?
To be honest, mate, I've been pushing for quite a long time on knackered tyres. So, and I knew I'd get him on penalties as well. So I knew I just had to stay in that gap. But I just dropped it into lane and then I just carried on going. But on the very last corner, I picked up a puncher as well. So
Oh no.
I think,
I noticed.
yeah, more than
You just ran
anything,
out of
I
fuel.
think it's helped me. Pardon, mate.
But that was
Well done,
our third place sitter,
Cheers,
DP
mate.
Roberts. Congratulations on making it into third place. So now we are on to our driver who finished second place, Joker. Well done, Joker, with an amazing battle. You had the pressure of Briz, you had the pressure of Roberts, and then you had the pressure of John in the Mercedes sitting behind you. How did you feel throughout pretty much most of the race with everyone all on the gearbox of your car?
Yeah.
Indeed, that was John. So you managed to go for a one-stop strategy, same as our race winner, which I'll come to in a moment. You went for a one-stop moment. You had worn hard tyres, and even though Roberts and John had worn medium tyres on, they were still putting that pressure on. How did it feel when you noticed that the yellow tyres were suddenly gaining on you?
It was some great
Well,
battles.
you did
guys.
really good, Joker. That was a really good battle, and now we are on with our race winner, Benji. A tremendous session. Your qualifying started off a little bit choppy, but then going into qualifying 3, you managed to take first place, and you commanded the entire Grand Prix from there. How do you feel winning the first race of the season? Anything to add on any key moments in the race? Because obviously you did go for the one-stop strategy. Did you try to take that as a gamble? Because obviously we didn't know how many strategies were going to go on the race, because you had people like Peppermeat and Jokers trying to catch on you, but once you realised how much you got ahead of everyone on lap 1, did you just feel like the race was yours, or was you on edge still? Well, you did tremendous, Benji. That was a good drive.
Were you a
But
bit afraid
how
at
do you
the start
feel
of the race?
leading the
Like,
champion?
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead there.
Benji?
Yeah, go ahead there.
How do you
Buzz.
feel? How do you feel leading the championship now? You've just won the race in round 1. You now lead F2's championship. How do you feel, and who do you think is going to be the main danger for the season?
Have you ticked your box, Benji? Benji, have
Was
you
your
ticked your
box
box?
ticked there, Benji?
Yeah, his box is ticked, mate, I think.
That's all right.
Well,
Just making sure.
we'll have a little check, but still, it was an amazing run, and Bodder had a question for you as well.
Yeah, just as it started the race, like Charismatic was basically right behind you, and two of you were kind of pulling away, and two of you kind of pulled like a 2-second gap to the rest of the pack that were behind you. How did you cope with the pressure that he was putting on you?
which ended in a little bit of a heartache for the Alpha driver. He crashed going into the early stages of the race on the last corner as well. We was on board with the third place battle because it looked like it was about to go down, but then suddenly we look up ahead and just see the Alfa Romeo just crashed into the wall. It looks like he might have just been pushing it, trying to take that win from you. So I have a feeling Charismix is going to come back in Bahrain and try and fight back against you. How do you feel with him being your possible rival for the season?
Yeah, I think it's fair to rival.
Indeed. Well, everyone, that has been our 3 races for today. So big round of applause for DP Roberts, for Joker, and for Benji Enzo for putting on an amazing race and getting some much valuable points for their team and for their championship. And
Well done,
anything
guys. Well
to
done.
add on, Bodder, before we wrap up?
Cheers, mate.
No, just saying that was some great racing there, especially the battle there for second, third, and fourth. You 3 guys there, and John as well, especially mentioned him. That was fantastic driving. Like, I know, Roberts, you put like 19 laps on your mediums, and I was saying at the end of the race, like that's unnatural, really. Like, you know, that's kind of tires that you'd be expecting, you know, Harris to do. But look, fantastic racing, guys. Really enjoyed watching it. So,
Cheers, mate. Can I just give... Sorry, mate. Can I just give a shout out to Rapid Sprays, Rebster, and Junior for being my engineers during the race. I was quite greedy. I didn't have one. I wanted 3. So cheers to them guys because they helped me through that bit.
Brilliant.
We also have to give our thank you to everyone in the league, not just to our drivers who've shown tremendous racing for today, but to everyone else. We have already thanked you at the beginning, but we cannot thank you enough for giving everyone such an amazing show. It's just great to be a part of this.
Yeah, it's a league by the racers for the racers. Sorry.
Indeed. And so I have a feeling that will be it for today. I have been Primus Gaming, and this has been Bodder, and we will see you in round 2 of F2 in Bahrain.
Well, our next race then from the league is Tuesday night, and it's going to be our Premier Division. It'll be our F1 division, and they'll be battling out in Australia. So I guess we'll see you then.
We will see you then, guys. Have a lovely evening. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
Bye.